Snow White has to be one of the most ridiculously controversial movies in recent memory. It's become something of a political hot potato, with its detractors claiming it would be overly woke based on some clumsy quotes attributed to the movie's star, Rachel Zegler. Whatever those quotes might have promised, there's nothing particularly incendiary about this retelling of the Disney classic, and there's certainly nothing particularly woke about it, with it hitting most of the same beats as the original. And yes, there's still true love's enchanted kiss. However, just the fact that it's faithful doesn't mean that it's good either. So in this one, an enchanted kingdom is ruined by its evil queen, played by Gal Gadot. Their only hope is a kind-hearted princess named Snow White, played by Rachel Zegler, whose youth and beauty are coveted by the queen. Truth be told, none of Disney's live-action adaptations of their animated classics have been winners, outside of maybe The Jungle Book, with them typically watered down and lacking the magic that made them so beloved in the first place. It doesn't help that Snow White's been done to death already, with Universal having done a pretty solid action version of it not too long ago with Snow White and the Huntsman. Skip the sequel, though. The only audience that might really go for this would be very young children who've never seen the animated classic. Otherwise, Snow White is a big yawn, with it feeling strangely padded for a movie that only runs 105 minutes. Despite all the controversy, Rachel Zegler is fine as Snow White, with her fresh face look perfect for the kind-hearted character, and she can certainly sing, even if the songs are far from memorable. In some ways, I'd argue that, despite her comments, Snow White hasn't actually been updated enough. With her such a naive heroine, it's hard to invest too much in her. Yet, of the cast, it's Rachel Zegler that fares the best. Gal Gadot's performance as the evil queen is a lot more of a mixed bag. While she certainly looks the part, her line readings are very stilted. When she's allowed to chew the scenery, she seems to be having a pretty good time, but she really does lack the dynamism a role like this is crying out for, with Sigourney Weaver in Snow White: A Tale of Terror and Charlize Theron in Snow White and the Huntsman having been a lot more memorable. I have to say, outside of Wonder Woman, has Gal Gadot ever really delivered an amazing performance? The Seven Dwarfs, which are CGI characters closely patterned on their animated versions, definitely have an uncanny valley look to them, with them at worst looking like garden gnomes that have come terrifyingly to life. They could have done something cool with them, but instead they're just comic relief and really not much else. Snow White's handsome prince love interest has also been somewhat reimagined, with Andrew Burnap's Jonathan, more of a roguish Han Solo type, being the leader of a group of bandits, but he still serves much of the same purpose as he does in the cartoon. Of all the characters, the Huntsman, who should have been cool, definitely comes off as the worst, with Ansu Kabia playing him as sullen, depressed, and worst of all, a total wimp. One thing to acknowledge, though, and it's pretty important, is that Snow White really isn't for us here at JoBlo. More than any other recent Disney movie, this is designed strictly for kids, with it so lacking in any kind of edge, I can't imagine any child over 10 actually really wanting to see this. With many other better fairy tale adaptations out there, Snow White feels like little more than a cash grab. If there was anything about the approach that was once deemed fresh, with original screenwriter Greta Gerwig no longer having a screenplay credit, it's been sanded off, with director Mark Webb having made a pretty dull film, with this sadly his first in about 8 years. That said, I hate to put too much blame at his feet, because this reeks of movie making by committee, and in the efforts of pleasing everyone, Disney's made a film that will please no one, and I give it a very, very mediocre 5 out of 10.
Disney's Snow White. Theaters March 21st, rated PG.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.